Oh, hey, dude.
Oh, hey, man.
Oh, hey, man. What's up, dude?
I'm gonna need a Gatorade for this one. Okay, so it says here on the Gatorade package that this has carbs to help refuel working muscles, and that's what we associate carbs with. Refueling working muscles.
Okay, guys, please, come on, guys.
I wanted to do a quick one of these.
Generally,
In this house, we believe Joe. In this house,
Guys, please show Joe a little respect, please.
he used to go on TV and make people eat bugs. And what else did they eat? Like deer vomit?
The Joe
Rogan did all night and also during the day.
I mean, I gotta say, that also reminds me of this.
Huh?
And I know this will be unpopular for a
What, Tom?
lot of people to hear.
Yeah.
But the idea of forgiving student loans,
Oh,
it's a
right.
fantastic theory. But one thing that nobody considers,
Yeah.
who is a huge advocate of that, is, okay, so somebody owns that debt.
How you gonna pay for that?
That
Yeah.
debt is owned.
Right.
So are you saying, when you say forgive, who are you saying are you saying that the government will just pay all of that debt? Do you have an idea the amount of debt that is? Somebody owns the debt.
Right.
So if you go forgive the debt, to what degree? Like, are you just saying erase it? It doesn't
Yes.
just disappear.
Yeah, no,
the
it
debt
does.
is owned.
It does.
Right.
So
No, it does.
when you say just pay it,
Yeah.
who are you saying
the
will pay it? In
government.
taxes?
The government.
Right. Everybody's going to pay it then.
Right.
No.
So the debt just doesn't get erased. Is my point.
Okay, this video's kind of bothering me a little bit, but Joe does ask a good question. Here we go from Joe.
So I'd want to know what it is compared to the military-industrial complex.
Tom Segura seems like a nice guy, but where's this coming from? But he's like, I guess he's kind of implying like, oh, it's irresponsible, man. It's irresponsible to just forgive this debt because that's some mom and pop somewhere, you forgive this debt, they die, they go to hell. But it's all federal government loans. They could just gone. But I like Joe's question. He's like, what about the defense? How does this compare to the defense budget? That's interesting. That's kind of interesting. So the last military budget was $800 billion, and that's going to keep increasing, it looks like. Okay, so that's $800 billion a year. Now let's check the student loan crap. U.S. Department of Education estimate Biden-Harris student debt crap to cost an average of $30 billion a year over 10 years. So that's way lower, bro. That's way, way lower, dude. But it's also like, who is this helping? Who is this student loan forgiveness helping? A nonpartisan analysis from an economist at the University of Pennsylvania, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? It's some people who think about this all the time. It shows the vast majority of debt relief will go to the bottom 60% of households by income. In other words, the study found that about 75% of the benefit will go to households earning $88,000 or less. So it goes to low-income people. So it's sort of a weird thing. It's like, oh, man, this could really help poor people who did the one thing that we always tell them you have to do better in this, in this country. But nah, it's really irresponsible to forgive that debt for a bunch of low-income people because the government needs that money, bro. The same government that's spending $800 billion per year, on this and this. Actually, the military has a new stealth fighter jet that flies over and it will
make pee-pee
on our enemies.
But there is a bizarre issue with student loan debt.
There
student
is?
loan debt is the only debt that you can't declare bankruptcy in.
Yeah, that part
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You
That's
can't?
crazy.
That doesn't make any sense.
But when you say forgive it, it's not just like, I think a lot of people say that and they go, I just don't want to pay this. Yeah, of course, I understand
Well,
that.
why are you dying on this
But
hill, Tom?
you realize that somebody.
But anyway, guys, thank God that this president of United States, what's the guy's name? Joe. Thank God he's coming in to solve this problem with student debt. The crap. Wait, what is this here? He backed a 2005 bill that stripped students of bankruptcy protections. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh jeez. That's another funny part of this. That the same guy who kind of helped create this crisis is like, hey, I'll put a little Band-Aid on this. Forgive some debt. What are you guys going to do? You're going to create some free public colleges after that so this doesn't happen again? No. It's just going to happen again. But this little Band-Aid, man, it's very irresponsible. It is very highly.
As a responsible guy.
Okay? As a responsible guy, guys, this is irresponsible, bro. putting kind of a no-brainer Band-Aid on a problem to get poor people out of a debt that they shouldn't have had in the first place. It's a fraction of the yearly military budget. That's irresponsible, bro. Guys, I'm not giving Tom Segura a hard time. He seems cool. His wife seemed cool. She's friends with Danny Brown.
But it just seems like there's like propaganda in the air
about this or something. It's very confusing. If you put on Fox News and they're talking about this, they're like, you'll get AIDS. If they do this, you'll get AIDS.
You get full-blown AIDS, HIV, if this happens, bro.
They say those exact words verbatim, and so it's confusing, man. Also, like a student debt crisis. Other countries have figured this out. They don't have a crisis. You would think if there's if you had a crisis in I'm having a crisis, in your own life, you would hope that you'd be like, how do I not have a crisis anymore and then not do this again? But we're not really doing that. There's other countries that have figured this out, how to not have a crisis. For example, Germany, it's free college. So they figured it out, bro. Maybe we'll take a little peek at that. I don't know. If they can do it, those people, Germany, you remember what they did, guys? Germany figured out how to not have a crisis, a student loan crisis. And we remember what they did back then, okay? What they did back then, which they all supported and which all the people who live there now still support, yet they still figured out how to do this with not have a crisis. So that's sick, man.
So the pride people are mad. How weird is it that when you say pride, people immediately think of gay?
Pride means gay. Yeah.
What, Joe? Okay, so this video has way more views than that last one, but it kind of goes off. Joe, here we go. Joe's going off. Here we go.
Pride means gay. Yeah.
How wild is that?
Yeah.
That they did that.
Yeah, they own it's
that they did that. How wild that they did that.
It used to be you were proud.
Right. No.
Now it's gay.
It definitely means
wild.
Queer. Yeah.
Pride Month.
Queer month.
Imagine you don't even have to say gay pride anymore.
Yeah.
What,
you say
Joe?
Pride Month. How insidious. They snuck it in.
Yeah.
They slowly took over pride. Like they took over the rainbow.
Rainbows are
like with anybody else, I'd be like, it seems like he's kind of fucking around here. But Joe does seem to watch a lot of Fox News, so he might actually be serious about this. Does Joe Rogan really believe that the gays have taken over the word pride? Like the word pride means gay now, it sounds like Joe Rogan's saying. Oh, look, Joe Rogan, he's a proud father. And he's like, I'm not gay.
I'm not a gay father. I'm not a gay father.
What, Joe? Are you okay? Come back. He's walking away with his baby. I'm a carpenter, and I have a lot of pride in my work. Oh, and then Joe Rogan walks in. Oh, he's a gay man and a gay carpenter. Okay, this is a classic Joe moment here. Here we go. Let's check this out.
Well, if you're a conspiracy theorist, this is the real conspiracy.
Oh,
the conspiracy is have as many social problems as possible that people get distracted by, that people concentrate on.
Right.
Whether it's a pandemic, whether it's masks, vaccines, pride, trans movement, sponsor drag shows for kids if you want people to get mad.
Right, or manufacture panic about those things, right? Hold on, I got to hear that again. Hold on.
Well, if you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
This is the real conspiracy.
Hit me with it, Joe, please. Okay, go ahead.
The conspiracy is
have
as many social problems as possible that people get distracted by, that people concentrate on.
Okay.
Whether it's a pandemic, whether it's masks, vaccines, pride, trans movement, sponsor drag shows for kids if you want people to get mad.
Oh, God.
And every time I watch a Joe Rogan thing, I'm like, Joe Rogan's not a bad guy. He's just a guy.
He's just a goddamn guy groping around in West Austin.
Groping around his mansion. Groping around his zero light flotation tank, trying to figure crap out, I always think that, he's just doing his best. And then he says something so insane that it's just like, oh, Joe, come on. I'm trying to be on your side, Joe, you son of a bitch. So Joe Rogan just said there that this is the real conspiracy. He's manufactured, in his words, social problems like gay pride and transgender people. Okay, the goddamn poor old Joe keeps going with this. You're not going to believe this. Here we go.
Get people to think that the oceans are going to be boiling in 5 years.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Get people to think that if we don't change it, like that was one of the things that Greta Thunberg said 5 years ago, that we'll all be dead.
In 5 years?
Well, it's 5 years later, and we're not all dead. So you definitely are wrong, and you're 16. So why are they flying you out to Ukraine? Like, what is going on?
Easy, Joe.
So
so Joe is taking in some content and then spreading it to, I don't know, millions, multi-millions of people. And this one, I'm pretty sure, because I saw this exact thing, comes from a Libs of TikTok tweet where the lady was... where that Libs of TikTok lady, who, no offense to her, this is not personal, seems bonked on the head, sorry. She posted this thing where she's like, Greta Thunberg is saying that that in 5 years the world is going to end. And she's quote tweeting Thunberg, and what Thunberg, if you read it, what she's actually saying is if we don't do some climate intervention in the next 5 years, then we're going to create a damage that's irreversible, which is totally different, bro. That's a totally different statement. Whether or not you agree with it, it's if we don't do something in 5 years, we're going to create irreversible damage, is different than the Earth is going to end in 5 years. Okay, if you haven't seen this, let's look at it. It's kind of funny. And this Libs of TikTok lady, if she's doing an Andy Kaufman thing, then I'm sorry. I missed it. Okay, so this Libs of TikTok lady writes, "Good morning, Greta Thunberg. Today is June 21st, 2023, and we're all still here." How many retweets did this get? 2,000. Okay, so here's the Toon tweet. "A top climate scientist is warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years." Okay, so then we underline 5 years, and then we circle that this was 5 years ago that she wrote this. Let's read it again. "A top climate scientist is warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity, not in the next 5 years, unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years. Oh, what's this? Elon Musk's Twitter censored this. Readers added context they thought people might want. If I ever get one of these, I would be like, oh, man. I'd be like, oh, that's a little embarrassing. Chaya has misunderstood the quote. It's saying we must stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years if we want to have a chance of reversing climate change. It does not say humanity will be wiped out in 5 years. So, that's where Joe's getting his, I don't know, like there could be something wrong with Joe, but Joe strikes me as more like just a guy who's like a victim of misinformation and stupid crap on the internet. Like he's not quite able to like discern. Joe, goddamn you, why don't you scroll down, read that part? Who put that little note down there on Twitter? Iluma.
There's been an update in the New York Post today regarding Steven Crowder and his divorce. Now, why are we talking about
Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Thank you. Okay, I had to share this video. This is an amazing video. It finally answers the question.
Where my unstable girlies at? Where my unstable girlies at?
Okay, so now this unstable girlies answer, they say,
I'm out in Miami, ho. Booty hole waxed down.
Okay. But anyway, this is Candy Owens, and she's about to do a real ass tearing of this guy, Steven Crowder, who is a millionaire YouTube Nazi, who, shockingly, this is shocking, doesn't seem to have much of a moral compass.
So in response to these abuse claims, Steven Crowder then said that he wanted everything opened up to the public. And here we are today. Boy. Let me remind you of what Steven Crowder said when he made that demand for the
My girl's loving this, by the way. You can tell she's really in her zone. Oh, I get to tear someone an ass? Oh, yeah.
Truth to be revealed, because we were all seeing an quote-unquote edited clip that was depicting him wrongly. Take a listen.
So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record. Finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press. But if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week.
He never did that because he just says stuff and it's not true and nobody fact checks him. And a lot of his followers just simply believe everything he says. Candace must have leaked this. She must have extorted him privately behind the scenes. Completely and utterly made up. This is sociopathic behavior. You can't just make up lies like this.
Okay, so I tried to fact check this, I went on Rumble and I put in exactly what I would put in if I were to upload a video that's like a big deal like this. I put Steven Crowder marriage records, Steven Crowder marriage files, Steven Crowder files, Steven Crowder marriage. I tried a bunch of stuff like that. I didn't see any follow-up on this. So it looks like Candy's telling the truth here. And if she is, that this guy uploaded this serious video where he's looking with that face, where he's looking with his little stupid face into the camera, and he's like, I know like everybody's talking about this, and it's memeing across the internet that I was barking at my wife like she's an animal on a security camera. I'm going to release all these relevant marriage files. You guys are going to see what's up. And then he just didn't do that. That seems like something is even more wrong with you. It seems like you're even more troubled. I mean, that is a level of thinking your fans are just absolute morons that I can't even conceive. Yeah, boy, oh boy, this is a lot of public humiliation for one person. And now, I was looking at Rumble, it looks like this guy on YouTube, this guy used to get over 1 million views on every YouTube video. Here's a video that he did with Roseanne 6 days ago. 500,000? Oh, okay.
Welcome back to Piers.
Jesus, Piers.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post.
Where my unstable girlies at?
A crystal flute.
Called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery.
Okay, so there's two main options to get internet famous, right? One of them is to be a little girl who raps. Playing outside every day. And the other is to just kind of say insane things, and then people say that's bad. And a big proponent of the second option, Pearly things. Our girl Pearl. We've been a big supporter of Pearl from the beginning. She got a big career bump today. In 14 hours, she got 1.2 million views on Piers.
On Piers.
I think partly because he did a very smart thing, and he put Andrew Tate's name in the headline.
I don't equate I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work.
Right.
So no, listen. Go apply to be on the oil rigs. Go be a plumber. Go be an electrician. Go be on the front lines of the military. And then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Well, guys, I can tell you one thing is that as a grown man, this is very interesting. Oh, wow. This is, wow. Oh.
I'm on the internet and I'm like, oh, this is really something.
Women shouldn't be able to vote. Oh, this is tantalizing, Okay, so I saw another video with our girl Pearl where she's really pissed off and she's really worked up. She's really worked up into a real... She's so worked up that she had to take a red Klonopin.
What?
But she's really pissed off because she's like, nobody will address my arguments. Nobody will answer my arguments. So let's stop giving Pearl a hard time and respond to this argument. Okay, so our girl Pearl is really on this thing. I've seen her say this in multiple places, that part of why women shouldn't be able to vote is because they should be, if they want to vote, they should go work on an oil rig or be electricians. I've heard her say this multiple times. Okay, so then if you take away the vote from women, what about the 14% of construction workers that are women? They're doing what you said. Do they still lose their vote? But then even if we had the ideal Pearly society, she's 26. What is she, 26? If we made Pearly queen and she had all the crap she wants, in her world, women would all be staying home, taking care of kids, and having kids. That's a massive amount of unpaid labor. So if labor equals vote, would they still not get the vote? And by the way, Pearl, how do you have a society when women aren't giving birth? And very ironically, I think Pearl needs to get back in the kitchen to bake some of these ideas a little bit more. So, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, this is from 2021, registered nurses was the most common job for women in the United States. They don't vote. They don't vote. Okay, hell yeah. Then our girl Pearl does an hour. Then our girl Pearl does an hour-long stream of her The internet is so stupid. So she does an hour-long stream of her reacting to her own interview here, which I would say to that, I would say, hey, we get it. We can already see you there in the interview there. But let's check this out. Maybe she goes into a little more depth. Here we go.
The anti-suffragette movement was far more popular with women. This was written out of history textbooks by feminist activists in the gender studies department.
Oh.
The U.S. was founded as a limited suffrage republic, not a universal suffrage democracy. Only male landowners could vote. Everyone else gained voting rights later.
Right.
Women voting, ironically, means less freedom.
Oh.
People argue that they think women should vote because they believe in freedom, liberty, and democracy.
Okay.
But in only 100 years of women voting, we have gotten a bigger government with far less liberty because women vote for safety and security over freedom.
Oh, amazing.
Suffrage women argued that they enjoyed a lot of privilege and protection granted by men that they would lose if they became a voting bloc. So
amazing idea.
Let me go.
Yeah, so this is why we love Pearl. You know, she's making an amazing point here. She's making an amazing point. You show her some respect. You son of a bitch, you. Women should be second-class citizens, shouldn't be able to vote, because then men would take care of them. I've heard right-wing social media click goblins say this exact same thing for slavery. But I used to work with this really nutty guy who tried to convince me once that being in jail was better than being out of jail. He said he tried to make this case, and he said exactly what you would expect. You don't have to work. You don't have to go to work. You go around. You walk around. You know. You watch a video. You know, and then you have to kind of reply like, right, but you're in jail, right? You can't go anywhere or do anything. And then he goes, oh yeah, that's true. That's true though. And that's kind of the case Pearl's making here. It's better. You don't have to work, right, but you're in jail, basically. I've seen like kind of dumbass right-wingers who are a little more savvy, a little older maybe than Pearl, who will actually make like a slightly more convincing case where they're like, women are stressed out. You know, they have to work. You know, they did all this fighting to get in the workforce. And these jobs suck. These jobs suck. And that's true. These jobs do suck. But the answer wouldn't be rolling back the clock a couple hundred years. It would be kind of fixing that problem. Right? Right, guys? We can figure that one out, right? That's not too hard of a... That's not too hard of a one to figure out, right? Okay, let's peep one more video from our girl Pearl here. She goes like this.
Weird.
What's this video called? 35-year-old women are uglier than 25-year-old women. Whoa. Some very controversial, click-worthy crap here from Pearl. Let's check this out.
So today, I want to talk about Twitter.
Iluma.
Guys, I have been tweeting so much lately. It is my favorite app. I love this app. God, it's hilarious.
Some real Harleen Quinceañera energy here. Okay, get to it, Pearl. Goddamn you. Okay, then this happens.
Million views on a tweet. You would think I would be saying some crazy...
Oh my
dropping
God.
some crazy knowledge.
Well, what gate in the airport do you live in, Pearl? Okay, let's get to it. Come on.
But this tweet said, yes.
Okay.
You are less attractive as a woman at 35 than at 25. This used to be common sense 50 years ago.
Oh!
So essentially what I said.
It's also kind of funny because I think Pearl is about 25 years old, and probably when she turns about 35, she will probably look at some of these videos and be like, oh, that's around the age when But also, I wonder what her red-pilled 14-year-old probably fans who watch this, like, what's the practical application to that some people are uglier than other people? You know, marching around the 4th grade, calling people brokey and ugly, and then being thrown face first into detention. I think that's probably 90 to 1,000% of our audience. That's the on-the-ground effect of this. So there we go, guys. Big shout out to Pearly. Big shout out to Steven Crowder. I hope you're okay. See, it seems like things aren't going great. Big shout out to Van Van. Love you guys so much that you don't even believe it, man. You won't even believe it, bro. And I will talk to y'all mother soon. Bye-bye.
Oh, hey, guys.
Guess what? You're not even getting the whole show. If you want every episode and a whole bunch of other
subscribe on Patreon.
Subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. Just click the stupid little link below the video in the comments.
See, right there.
There you go. Click it, and that, yep. When you become a patron for as little as 2 bones, you get the Tuesday, Thursday, patron-only episodes. You also get the weekly Book-a-Blega show where we talk about important books. The questions and comments thing where you can ask questions and make comments and all this crap.
All for less than the price of a rancid Charleston chew.
And for only 25 putrid little dollars,
you could become a producer.
That's right, support the show and get your name up here. Look at these people. Look at these people that make the show possible, okay? God. I mean, without these beautiful people, this show goes straight into the dumpster. A rotten, just wet, disgusting dumpster, behind a restaurant. So there's old milk in there. That's where this show ends up without these people. Is that what you want? Okay, I guess it's what you want. I'll just leave. Nope, it's done. It's too late. Okay? Here we go. Here's the dump truck. Here's the dump truck come to pick up the show. This is what would happen with no producers. Thank you.